Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of With All Due Respect.
Yes.
Why
are you taking so pauses and then all due respect?
It's for emphasis.
Oh, got it. Right. All right.
It's been probably about a month since we've done one of these.
Yes.
And the reason being is because we've been working hard in the background in efforts to host the Best Banting Gala that will be taking place on November 5th at the Aria Banquet Hall in support of Diabetes Canada. And when we set out for this charity, we set out to make 100K. Yes.
Yeah, but we are a little more than 100K now, as we have put it in our previous video too. But having said that, we still wanted your support, still wanted you to participate for this noble cause. And just so you know, on the another side note is all the money which is getting raised for this is going directly to Diabetes Canada. It's not coming to me and then I'm giving them the checks. I don't have my personal NGO. I have no involvement whatsoever in terms of money. So all your money is going to go directly to them. So please, please, please support for this noble cause. I would urge everybody who's watching this, whichever way you could. Yeah, maybe $100, $50, whatever. Right.
Yeah, it's been a labor of love for the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
And well, obviously things are going well, which is why we're diving back into real estate now.
Yeah.
And
back to the basics. Back to the basics.
Well, we wouldn't call it basics.
To me, it's a base. Back to the pavilion, you can say.
What?
Back to the pavilion.
Pavilion.
Yeah, I don't know some people who watch cricket. There's not many people who watch cricket in Canada, but in India, it's quite a famous sport, and people can relate to that. Back to the pavilion. Pavilion is the place where all the players sit. Once they are not in the field, they go back to the pavilion. So basically, from where they belong.
So this is our pavilion.
Kind of.
Okay,
yes.
or at least your pavilion.
Yes.
All right.
You can say that.
All right, fair enough. Well, we definitely...
Without wasting any further time, let's diverge to the questions. This segment is for the ask questions. Sorry, Kumari, I'm interrupting in between because I wanted this to get going. So let's do it.
Because God forbid Jazz have to record for any longer than he absolutely needs to.
Yeah. I didn't mean that, but I didn't want these viewers to keep patiently waiting for.
Right. This isn't a Best Banting podcast. This is a real estate podcast. We're here to talk about real estate. We're here to answer your questions about real estate. So to kick us off with, from our last podcast, we actually had a direct message in reference to your private mortgage podcast. What is the difference between first position and second position as a private lender?
So I'm assuming with this question, what you meant is if you are a private lender, what does it mean, the first position, the second position? It's quite common phrase. We use it when we are lending the money as a private lender. You don't need to be a big lender to be a private lender. You can lend small monies too for the houses. So what does it mean is when you're doing a private lending, there's two types of positions going to be. In simple words, first position is not always, most of the time is the bank. Let's say I buy a house for 1.4 million and the bank has given me, for example, TD has given me a 1 million mortgage on it. Rest money is $400,000. I have only $200,000. So I'm shortfall of $200,000. So the whosoever is coming as a private lender, let's say Claudia, you have that $200,000. So you're going to lend it to me and put a charge on the title. So your position is second. So if something goes sideways, first I'm going to lose my 200K. Then your 200K, and then the first position is the bank. So bank is the safest, especially in this market, challenging times when the prices are coming down. If you're looking into private sector, here's a tip for you. Try not to be on a second position. If you're putting some money towards a private lending, try to go be on a safest bet is to put it as a first position, like you are the main lender. If something goes sideways, house goes for foreclosure, your investment is still safe. You get a little less rate of interest on the private lending side if you're on the first position than the second, but it's still safe. So yeah, that's what it means. First position and the second position.
Okay.
I hope I'm able to explain that.
Well, our next question was a little bit of an offshoot from one of our TikTok questionnaires that we actually did respond to already. But for our non-TikTok users, can you explain a little bit about the new landowner transparency registry?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it. So basically what is happening now, everybody has to have the transparency registry declared. So what was happening previously or till date is happening is, let's say the property is under my name, personal name, but there are other investors who are the part owner of this property and have a bare trust on the side. So the bank and the government even doesn't know it, who are the people actually, who are the beneficial owners. I'm the one only putting it on a title, my name, but behind the scenes, there's so many other people too. Having this new rule, everybody, when they're having a transparency registry on it, so if the bank goes, they can search it and they will able to pull out who are the owners of this. Not only the person who's on the title, but also the beneficial owners. So this is just the government is bringing it, as the word itself says, transparency. They wanted it to be transparent so that there's no tax fraud, there's no money laundering, there's no offshore money coming to this country. They wanted to keep it transparent who are the owners going to be. That's what it is calling. So everybody now moving forward from November onwards have to do if there's a bare trust agreement, have to register it.
One of our users or viewers from YouTube actually also wants to know, well, can an international student buy a house in Canada, and how much % would they have to pay for the down payment?
International student can buy definitely nobody can stop you, even tourists can buy it. Not for now, because the Canada has come up with a new rule from January onwards, they're going to be introducing the rule that no foreigners can buy it. But coming back to the question here is, yes, as an international student, you can buy a house, but there will be still a 20% tax on it in BC if you buy a house. And because you still counted as a foreign entity, even though you're studying here. If you have your PNP being approved, then you actually don't have to pay that tax. You save that tax. Even let's say there's a PNP and then your permanent residence is coming. As long as you have that PNP approved, then you don't have to. But if you're on a work visa or a student, whenever you buy a house, you have to pay that foreign tax, which is 20%. In terms of mortgages, how much down payment you have to put it, that totally rely on your income, how much income you're making it. Being a student, I don't consider it's going to be much of the income you can make it. So very substantial amount of money you have to put it as a down to buy any property. Okay.
Sounds hard.
It is difficult. It's difficult for everybody as a first-time buyer.
Oh, absolutely.
Not only for students, for
absolutely.
Everybody. It's difficult, especially in this Fraser Valley or Vancouver area.
Well, especially in BC.
Yeah.
Period.
It is. It's difficult.
Moving on to Instagram, actually, one of the few questions that we got was, can you share your thoughts on pre-sales?
Pre-sales is a good buy. I'm not I would say that always a good fan of pre-sales, especially when the market was so hot in the beginning of this year. And I posted a video too saying that if you're buying a pre-sale, make sure you have sufficient funds to close the property. And that is what exactly happening. A lot of people who purchased the pre-sales a year ago on a higher prices, they don't have funds now to close it. Either they are selling it for the price they purchased it and it's not selling, or they're losing their deposits now. So they are going into a litigation, the court, the developers are suing them. So there's a lot of things that are happening. Coming back to if you're going to buy a pre-sale now, it's a good time to buy a pre-sale now because there's developers, as the market has slowed down, is giving a lot of incentives. Assignments are allowed. Previously, some of the assignments were not allowed. Down payment has been come to 5%. Some of the condo developments are only 5%. And the price also, the properties have come down. So it's a good buy in this market. I wouldn't say it wasn't a good buy at that time, but if you didn't have the money, same thing applies rule now also. If you don't have the money to close the property, don't buy it just on the basis of deposit and think you're gonna flip it. You can flip it in next 2 years when the completion is coming, or 1.5 or 3 years, whatever the time is. But make sure you have enough money. If the things go sideways, you have the money to cover it and do the completion. As long as you have a down payment or the funds to close the property and can hold it, you will not lose money on real estate because eventually it's going to be growing. People only lose money when they don't have the capacity to hold the property.
Do you feel like a lot of what happened last year or earlier this year with everyone buying up pre-sales, everyone just buying, do you think a lot of that frenzy was just attributed to like the fear of missing out? Everybody else is
that was with everyone, was it? Isn't it? Like, it's not only for pre-sales, every other houses also were selling it as was going crazy. As a realtor also, I was keep posting it. If you look into my early this year's videos too, I was saying this is not going to last for long. Actually, I was being very vocal about it, and I was telling my investors to sell all their investment properties because that was a great time to sell it, not the great time to buy it. Now is the great time to buy it because we are in a mild recession, if not fully recession, and there's an uncertainty in the market which way this is going to go. That's the best time when you want to buy it.
All right. Well, Rosa Holmes asks, if I'm developing lots, is it a good idea to slow down and have lots ready in a year from now?
If I was you, I would do it. My clients are doing it, the same thing. There is, without taking the names, actually, one of my developers is not doing it. They have the fourth reading being done. So fourth reading is the DP is being done. Now they can dig the ground and put the services in there, but they're not doing it. They're holding on to it because if the moment you start doing the construction, there's an extra carrying cost on it, extra mortgage going to be on it. Right now, there's only a land, and that you already having that mortgage carrying on it is going to be an extra burden on it because selling the lots in this market is going to be difficult. The price is going to be less, especially if you want to do a pre-sales on the lots. If you have the capacity and the funds to do the construction without the pre-sales and get it everything done, then you might give it a shot, but otherwise just hold on to it. There's no harm holding on to it rather than doing it now. A lot of developers and even the builders for the houses also, they're doing it. They're holding on to it. Unless they have to build it, that's the answer is. What's next one, Claudia?
Sean Parker, 1877, says, experts say that you're actually Sartaaj without the turban.
Can you say that name again?
What, did I say it wrong?
No, just say the celebrity's name.
Sartaaj.
Sartaaj. He's a Punjabi singer. I take it as a compliment. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. Is now a good time to invest? If market is cooling off and correcting, then this arguably is not the right time to buy. It's the time to wait and wait.
Yeah, I could feel from where he's coming or she's coming. Sorry, I didn't pick up the name. But the point here is, who knows what's the bottom of the market is? Nobody knows it. This is the bottom? Or there going to be more prices coming down? Everybody's saying, yes, the price is going to come down. But the point now is coming in. Prices have come down significantly already. Sellers are at the point where they don't want to sell it unless they're stuck. They have big mortgages to pay off on the private side. Then only those people are coming, and the majority of the people are not in that position currently. Yes, there are 1 to 2% or 5%, but the 5%, if the population, the 5% is having in that situation, is not driving the market. 95% are still able to hold the properties. So they are not dictating, the 5% is not dictating the market. So yeah, I don't know. There's no harm in waiting. Yeah, put it this way, there's no harm in waiting and watch. Just look out for good deals. If you get a good deal, buy it when you feel like, okay, the numbers make sense and I will able to make money on it in a long run. Yeah, buy it. Or if you want to wait it for a few months or a year, up to you.
Just keep in mind those opportunities.
Yeah, opportunity doesn't come. Yeah, because no one knows this. Who knew it that yes, the market was this crazy in the beginning of this year, but nobody knew that rate of interest are going to go this high in such a speed. How the government is bringing it. That's a different story about it. Some people don't agree with that, or some people agree with it. Yes, but nobody knows what is going to happen. So nobody knows tomorrow. All of a sudden, government says we are taking out the stress test. You will see even the rate of interest doesn't go down. The market will bounce back because people now in current today have to qualify for 7.5%. Even the prime rate is 5.5. So if they take out the stress test, the 2% will give a relief to the buyers and they will come back to the market. And you don't want to wait for that time. Be proactive rather than reactive.
Seize your opportunities where you can find them rather than just hoping that things will be better. Right. Let's
move on to the next one then.
Right. So in a video that actually, I believe it was Inder and Amneet, they posted about cash flow in real estate in Kamloops.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, how about Vernon?
Vernon is a nice property too. I sold a commercial plaza there. And even in this low market, it's still a great investment was there. So point here is just think out of the box. Buy properties where you can see the population is going to grow. But still the prices are half the prices what we're in the city we are living in. And Surrey especially, we are looking in Surrey, Vernon, Kamloops, Kelowna, Penticton, all these places are nice. You can do Airbnb in those places. Vernon is a nice place to do Airbnb too. So yeah, answer to your question, that's not a bad thing to buy for. Yeah.
In the same video, another user asks or points out that he feels that the fires in the areas could affect the prices in the long term. What do you have to say about that?
Fire like in?
Just like the summer fires that have been happening.
I don't think so that's gonna happen because the major issue is affordability. Population is growing. Where are the people going to buy homes now? So they have to move forward. As I said it in the previous question, I answered it that There's people, whether like it or they don't like it, they have to move out, the first time buyers or the people who can't buy houses here. And if they wanted to buy a house, they have to move out. Demographically, there's not much land here. So with this fire, or for instance, Merit, I sold a plaza there to my client, to the Merit when the flood, it was in the middle of the flood time when we did the deal. They got a good deal. As a smart investor, always look at the opportunities when nobody's buying, then buy it. Don't wait till the time when everybody jumps into the market, because the opportunity is already gone. You should buy it when nobody's buying. If there's a uncertainty of this area is not good because of the fire thing, fire is not, the people are still living there, mind it. So if they could live, anybody else can live too. So yeah, I don't think that should be a big factor for not buying something because of that.
I feel like a lot of it seems like it's just a part of just doing your research on the area.
Yeah, research on the area, or you could see the options. What other options people have it. If there's no options, like it or not like it, it is what it is. You just have to live there.
And to an extent, I feel like there's going to be some natural disasters in quite a few places. There was a fire in like Coquitlam just over the weekend. And
anything can happen. Like we live near the ocean. What the tsunami comes in, then what is going to come?
Earthquake. Like we have a lot.
These are the things we cannot predict it, right? You cannot predict for things which is not in your hand and then think about it. That way you won't able to buy anything, right?
There's nowhere that's eternally
don't overthink.
safe.
It's good to be thinking, but don't overthink on things.
Well, let's see. Last question, more of a comment from Jash Alak, 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Please reduce the house prices.
It's already reduced, Jash. But yeah, if it is in my hand, I could have done it and purchased myself too. Unfortunately, a lot of people think we realtors dictate the real estate here. To some extent, we do. I'm not saying that completely, brushing this off the comment. Thus, we realtors don't dictate or don't send the trends where the market is going to go. But to some extent, people are smart. Everyone is smart now. They can Google it. They can find the information themselves. So they know that what we are talking about is making sense or not. But and on a joke side, I wish I could reduce the prices of the houses further down so that you can buy it and buy it through me. And me also, I can buy too some of the real estate.
I don't know what it is, like whenever something happens in the real estate market, they're like, it's the realtor's fault.
Because people don't like it. People don't like us. Put it this way. There are a lot of people out there who don't like us. For whatever reason, they don't like it. It is what it is. We have that with our profession.
Yeah. I mean, like, it is true.
They feel like we don't say most of the time the truth, or our life is larger, or our lifestyle is larger than the life we should portray, that all luxury stuff we do it. That's what it is. And I always tell the people, you're saying right, absolutely right. We make tons of money. Why don't you become a realtor? Come this side of the table and see how it feels. Come.
Here, invitation. Pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Come sit.
Come sit. There's thousands of realtors out there. Be one of them. Yeah. Come in. Come on board. Let's enjoy this journey together. Right. Anyways, people have to say a lot of things about a lot of other stuffs too. So it is their opinion. They have the right to say whatever they want to. It's our right whether we want to listen to those opinions or not. And 9 out of 10 times I don't listen to those things, but they say to me on a negative side.
Jazz is deaf to haters. That's the moral of the story today.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So that's pretty much, I believe, is for today.
Yes.
Claudia?
Yes.
That was an easy peasy. Not many questions this time.
Well, yeah, we're getting back into it. You know, we haven't had a lot of real estate content for the last little bit.
Yeah, before people forget that I'm into real estate too, which I try my best not to you people to forget that I'm a realtor.
This is a friendly reminder.
Yes, yes.
Friendly reminder. We are.
I'm a realtor. I'm saying a realtor. Yes.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed.
In fact, if you have more real estate questions, feel free to
ask. Yeah, and I will try my level best to answer it in all honesty and to my expertise, whatever I know about it. I always like to share
it's expertise.
What I know. Expertise.
Expertise.
Canadian accent. I'm proud of my accent. I will say.
No one's saying anything wrong with your accent.
Okay, it's expertise.
Yes.
Not expertise.
Yes.
Because in India we say expertise.
Is it actually?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
It's not expertise.